this or that, this or that, one thing or another. They're going to find you. They're going to get you. Names are a weird thing. Trust me, as somebody who's had to think very hard about what their name is, I understand that names are a thing. Communities are troublesome. They always have been, they always will be. I understand that. This or that. This or that. I don't think you have to leave one thing to expand into another. And trust me, I'm not judging anybody who feels differently, because I have no right to judge anyone. But I'm curious about this new thing being born, this CreatorTube, and why so many people think that they have to stop being one thing to be part of another. So, welcome to my CreatorTube tag. Let's talk about it, shall we? Like I said, I am not here to judge anyone. My name is Charlie. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully, people are familiar enough with me by now to know that that's not the way I roll. That's not how I do things. But I do have a problem with binary thinking. And I know a big part of that is that I, myself, am non-binary and was trapped in binary thinking for a very long time. That you were either this or you were that. And I have watched this over the years in so many different ways, from are you WriterTube or AuthorTube? And now here we are with are you CreatorTube or AuthorTube? And to me, like all of the wonderful people out there that are both BookTube and AuthorTube, I am wanting to join this new community because I see myself in it. I'm an artist. I do pictures. I draw, not well, but I draw. And I do podcasting. I do a lot of things. I write books, novellas, short stories, getting back into poetry. And so, yes, the idea of saying hello and welcome to CreatorTube is very appealing to me because it does cover the wider gamut of all of the things that I do. But personally, and I am not, again, calling anyone out, personally, I don't think I have to leave one thing to be a part of another. Because my life has shown me that experience comes in layers, experience comes in waves. I can be part of many communities at the same time. So here is my CreatorTube tag, where I want to throw my hat in the ring to join CreatorTube. This was started by Keshe Warren and MV Mackenzie, and here are the questions. Question number 1. How did you find out about CreatorTube? I actually found out about it during a live stream when somebody brought it up and asked me about it. And I thought it was an interesting idea and started looking into it. I don't think it's a bad idea. It's a very interesting idea, and I like the idea of embracing more of what we do. Big tents are always beautiful things, and I'm curious to see what we can do with this. Question number 2. In what ways do you create, and how will you showcase that on your channel? Like I said, I am an artist, I am a podcaster, I am a writer. I want to be a poet, but I think you have to actually write poetry to be a poet, and I haven't written poetry in a very long time, with the exception of a couple extracts that are in the novella that I'm currently working on. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about my art, my creative process. I'm going to be featuring segments of my podcast on this channel. I'm also going to try to start creating videos that tell my stories. And I'm not entirely sure how I want to do that. I've been looking at a few examples. I kind of like the way that Tale Foundry did theirs, and I'm probably going to do something similar to that. I have a lot of things planned, and hopefully you will enjoy them as they start to roll out. Question number 3. How do you feel CreatorTube better fits your creative endeavors, or what inspired you to go with the change of CreatorTube? Like I said before, I am a creator. I do a lot of stuff, from the world building to the writing to the art to the podcasting, all over the place. And I like the idea of embracing more of that and sharing more of that. And in some ways, CreatorTube is a better fit for me as a person. But I'm not necessarily changing, I'm just adding it. This is a both and tag for me. I'm both going to be part of AuthorTube because I am an author. And just like when I start putting out more book reviews, I will probably be tagging them BookTube because I want to be more active in the BookTube community. I see this as a both and, not an either or. And I hope that's all right with everyone. Question number 4. What do you want to gain from being in CreatorTube? Well, I would like to meet more podcasters. This is something that I've really enjoyed over the years and would like to be able to share my experiences more with creating audio and things like that. I've really wanted to get back into doing music lately, but the kind of music that I do, I don't consider myself a musician. I think CreatorTube is a much better term for me for a lot of the endeavors that I'm doing. And number 5, when did you start creating? Oh, I started when I was a kid. I was a little kid. I remember drawing comics when, I would have had to have been about 6 or 7. And I used to draw Pac-Man comics. I used to draw Transformer comics, which really frustrated me because I couldn't figure out how they could get things to glow on the TV. And so I tried all kinds of stuff and eventually kind of learned that if you put water on the paper and kind of scrape the paper a little bit, it became translucent. And if you held it up to light, it would look like it was glowing. And that was really fun. But yeah, I've created for as long as I can remember. From the comics I used to draw as a kid, I remember writing short stories very early on. My first book I started writing when I was about 12. And oh man, it was a hot mess, but I've talked about that before. I've always been creative, and I think that's a big part of who I am. And my sister and my grandma Nixon really did a lot to foster my creativity, and I thank them for that. I also had the great fortune of going to a magnet school for the arts, which also helped out a lot. So I'm hoping that this community is big enough to accept someone like me, a both and kind of person, because I would love to be a part of it. But I'm tired of gatekeeping in every form, in every way. In fact, today's podcast is all about the gatekeeping that I, as a world builder, have faced in the writing community, where people have said to me that world building is not real writing. So as long as there are no gates being put up, no walls being erected, and nothing holding people out, I hope to be a part of this community, and I hope that this community will grow. All right. Thank you so much for listening. As always, when we end my things, I feel like we have to say over and over and over again, Black Lives Matter, Black Trans Lives Matter, trans identities are valid. May you have the courage to ride your dreams into reality. And above all, don't forget to have the fun.